Picture this. A service member calls the week before deployment, and their employer freezes the return to work date without warning. What do you do first? Every case you take on as an ESGR volunteer comes down to one thing: the decision you make in the next 5 minutes. This training gives you the skills, the tools, and the process to make that call with confidence instead of guesswork. Over the next few minutes, you'll learn what decision-making skills involve, walk through a proven 6-step process, and pick up 3 tools you'll use on your next case. Let's get started. The decision-making skills and tools will have practical application to your daily challenges. When we make decisions, perceptions and biases are not always reality. Subjectivity, biases, and irrelevant factors may creep into our decision-making processes. The ability to choose the best course of action from several alternatives requires understanding the situation, weighing risks and benefits, and confidently choosing a solution. Skilled practitioners evaluate situations, avoid bias, and apply the right tools to reach sound conclusions, essential for meeting daily challenges in leadership, management, and everyday life. Good decisions don't come from one skill working alone. They come from a set of skills working together. Teamwork and leadership help you bring the right people into the conversation. Problem solving and critical thinking help you see what's going on beneath the surface. Emotional intelligence keeps you grounded when a case gets tense, while courage gives you the nerve to make the tough call anyway by having a way to consider your critical thinking. Round it out with time management and prioritizing to keep cases moving by having the courage plus critical thinking that has creativity and logical reasoning to find the option nobody else considered. Build these 10 together, and you're equipped for almost anything a case throws at you. Here's the process that ties all of this together. 6 steps you'll use on every case. Start by defining the issue and setting a clear goal, so you know what a good outcome looks like. Next, gather the relevant information and data. Don't skip this step. A decision built on partial facts is a decision built on sand. Then identify your options and weigh the consequences of each one. Evaluate the pros and cons side by side. Select the course of action that best fits the goal you set at the start. Once you've decided, implement it, monitor how it plays out, and adjust as new facts come in. 6 steps, every case. Knowing the process is one thing. Having the right tool for the job is another. Over the next few slides, you'll walk through the 3 tools ESGR volunteers reach for most: SWOT analysis, cost-benefit analysis, and the decision matrix. Each one solves a different kind of problem, and by the end, you'll know exactly when to reach for which one. First up, SWOT. 4 letters, 4 questions. Strengths. What are you doing well right now? The resources and skills that give you an edge. Weaknesses. Where are the gaps? The outdated approach or the skill you're missing. Opportunities. What's happening outside your control that plays to your advantage, like new technology or a shift in policy? Threats. What's coming at you from the outside? New competition, budget cuts, or new regulation. 2 of these look inward. 2 look outward. Together, they give you the full picture before you decide anything. SWOT earns its popularity for good reason. It gives you a clear overview fast, and it's built for a room full of people, so it pulls in perspectives you'd otherwise miss. The strategic planning advantage provides a clear overview of key factors, simplifying strategic planning and decision-making. It encourages team collaboration, promotes critical thinking and teamwork, surfacing broader perspectives and ideas. While providing subjectivity and oversimplification, it can be subjective, oversimplifying complex issues based on participants' perspectives. Limited actionable solutions. Identifies factors but rarely produces solutions on its own. requires deeper follow-up analysis. But it has limits. Because it leans on opinion, it tends to oversimplify complicated problems. And on its own, SWOT identifies factors. It doesn't hand you a solution. Treat it as the starting point for deeper analysis, not the final word. Let's put SWOT to work on a real ESGR challenge. Volunteer recruitment. Strength. Experienced regional chairs and outreach programs already in motion. Weakness. Budget constraints and differences from region to region. Opportunity. Closer budget monitoring and more regional training. Threat. Competition for a limited pool of available, viable volunteers. Lay it out like this, and the strategy writes itself. Engage the volunteers you already have, and partner with local chambers of commerce for fresh approaches to reach new ones. Tool number 2, cost-benefit analysis. The idea is simple. List every cost and every benefit tied to a decision, financial and non-financial. Then put a number on each one wherever possible, including time and the intangible factors that are easy to overlook. Add up both sides, compare the totals, and you'll see clearly whether the benefits outweigh the costs or whether they don't. Why volunteers reach for cost-benefit analysis? It grounds a decision in objective data instead of opinion, keeps the financial evaluation transparent, and makes it easy to justify your choice to anyone who asks. The catch is that intangible benefits are hard to measure. Estimates often carry hidden bias, and a rushed analysis tends to miss long-term impacts. Run the numbers, but don't mistake the numbers for the whole story. Here's a cost-benefit analysis applied to a decision that most ESGR programs face at some point: in-person training or video training. Line up the true costs of each travel, venue, and staff time against the benefits of reach, consistency, and engagement. Once it's laid out side by side, the better option for your program stops being a guess and starts being a number. Tool number 3, and the one built for decisions with more than 2 options, the decision matrix. List every option you're comparing. Define the criteria that matter: cost, efficiency, quality, whatever applies to your case. Assign a weight to each criterion based on how much it matters. Score every option against every criterion on a consistent scale. Multiply each score by its weight and add them up. The option with the highest weighted total is your answer, backed by numbers instead of instinct. The decision matrix earns its keep because it forces a structured side-by-side comparison across multiple criteria at once. A structured approach to decision-making versus where it can be time-consuming to set up and analyze facilitates comparison on multiple criteria, whereas it may oversimplify complex decisions with numeric scores. Helps prioritize based on weighted factors, but increases the risk of subjective bias in assigning weights and scores, which may encourage an objective versus emotional bias to where it may not be suitable for decisions with high qualitative factors. All of this helps you prioritize what matters most, keeps emotional bias out of the process, and adapts to nearly any decision you're facing, big or small. The trade-off: it takes more setup than SWOT or cost-benefit, and it's only as good as the criteria and weights you choose going in. Here's the matrix at work on 3 ESGR events, scored against mission impact, funding, and resource limits. Event A comes in at 2.2. Event C lands at 3.6. Event B tops them both at 4.2, the clear winner, the highest mission impact for the lowest cost. That's the power of the matrix. It doesn't tell you which option feels right. It shows you which one is right in the numbers. Let's bring it all together. Every decision, no matter which tool you use to get there, follows the same 7 decision-making moves. Define the problem, gather your information and options, analyze what you've gathered, evaluate the results, Select the best option, plan for implementation, and implement the plan. Memorize the shape, and you'll have a mental checklist for every decision you face as an ESGR volunteer, from the routine to the high stakes. That's decision-making skills for the ESGR volunteer: the definition, the 10 supporting skills, the 6-step process, and 3 tools you're ready to put to work today. Before you finish this training, remember 3 things. Record your attendance in MMS, log your roster in Event Plus with your VST, and keep the curriculum document as your take-home reference. If you have questions, reach out to your regional chair or ESGR leadership. Thanks for investing the time in becoming a sharper decision maker. The service members and employers you support are counting on it.